So I was sitting on a plane. The plane was on the runway about to take off, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to tell my husband that we had to get off the plane. Yep, I was having a full-blown panic attack and I needed to get off the plane. Notwithstanding the fact that I had been flying since I was a child, I had literally been on a plane hundreds of times, no problem, no anxiety, no nothing. But today I was freaking out and I needed to get off the plane. And the only thing that saved me is that I thought to myself, OMG, if I have to get off this plane, then they're going to have to take off all the luggage to find my luggage, because I know they don't fly when you come off the plane and your luggage is still on the plane. So I really was like, what am I going to do? I have to come off the plane, but I can't make all these people wait for me to get my luggage off the plane. What was I going to do? So I'm sitting there thinking to myself and having a full-blown panic attack when I realized, wow, this is what happens in menopause. You have these increased anxiety moments or minutes. You have panic attacks, which I'd never had before. I was like, this is a symptom of menopause. It really struck me like this has never happened to me before. I'm in my 50s. I must be having a menopause panic attack. So if this has happened to you, you are not alone. I hear you, and it's not fun and it's not nice. And I'm going to share what saved me on that day. And I'm also going to share 10 lifestyle habits that have really helped me to manage my menopause symptoms without HRT. Because my doctor told me when I first went into menopause that HRT was not an option for me. So I had to basically figure out how to manage my menopause symptoms naturally without HRT. So I shared about that on other videos. So I'm not going to go into that story now, but suffice it to say that I have 10 lifestyle habits that really help me to manage my symptoms naturally. And I had a lot of symptoms. I still have symptoms. I had all the usual symptoms. I had the hot flashes. I had the issues sleeping. I had joint pain. I had obviously the increased anxiety and panic attacks. I had rashes. I had brain fog. Did I say that already? Or am I having brain fog right now? So I had all the usual menopause symptoms and probably some that were not so usual, but I had to figure out how am I going to manage these symptoms for the next God knows how long. Could be 5 years, could be 10 years. Some women stay in menopause for the rest of their life and have some kind of symptoms. So I figured out 10 things that work for me that I wanted to share with you today, because maybe they might work for you too. So the first thing is I developed a yoga breathing practice. Now I'm a yoga teacher, and if you know anything about yoga, you know that breathing is really important. So I really use my deep breathing exercises, my deep breathing practice to help me to manage my stress, my anxiety. And honestly, it saved me on the plane that day. Deep breathing saved me on that plane because I did a ton load of deep breathing. I also said my prayers, lots of Hail Marys. So that also helped, but deep breathing is what I wanted to share. That really helped. So it doesn't have to be complicated. You literally are just taking deep breaths in and out of the nose, allowing your belly to move. So you're breathing into your belly and you're just focusing on your breath. Now, one simple way that you can practice this, a simple deep breathing technique that I teach all the time is called even breathing. It's a 4-4 breathing method, which simply means inhaling for a count of 4 and exhaling for a count of 4. So I really encourage you to try this. Literally inhale for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4. And if 4 is too long, you can inhale for a count of 3 or even just 2 and exhale for the same amount. So deep breathing has been proven to help to manage stress and anxiety. It works. Lots of studies out there support a simple deep breathing practice really helps to manage stress and anxiety. And we know that increased stress and anxiety is one of the main symptoms that a lot of women postmenopause suffer from. And we have this simple technique, free, no side effects, no meds involved, that really worked. And it's it works, and it saved me on that plane. It saved me on the plane that day. So that's the first lifestyle habit that I would really encourage you to develop. You could do it, anytime you want to or need to, really, or you could get in the habit of doing it morning and evening, or just once a day, or a couple times a day, whatever works for you. So just try it and let me know if it works for you. So the second lifestyle habit that I really encourage you to develop, if you're not doing it already, is to do something to maintain strong muscles and bones. So again, we know in menopause, joint pain is an issue for many people. For me, I suffered with lots of joint pain, especially knee pain, ankle pain, sometimes wrist pain, sometimes hip pain. So joint pain is an issue. Also, osteoporosis is also an issue for many women because the declining estrogen has an effect on our bones. Bones can get weaker. So we need to be doing something to strengthen the muscles, which will help with joint pain. Yes, strengthening the muscles that support the joints help with joint pain, and also to strengthen our bones, which to prevent osteoporosis. So there are lots of ways to do this. Yoga is obviously a great way to do it. I'm biased, I'm a yoga teacher, but there are lots of ways to strengthen your muscles and bones. Simply doing, walking works. Strength training is obviously a great way to do it. And as you get older and as you get stronger, strength training is actually really important to continue to build muscle strength and bone strength, which is really going to help us as we get older. So that's the second lifestyle habit. I really encourage you to find something to do to keep your muscles and bones strong or to help them to get stronger. So the third thing is related to that, and I just mentioned it, yoga. Please, ladies, if you've never tried yoga, give yoga a chance. Give yoga a try. Yoga helps in so many ways to manage menopause symptoms. So in addition to keeping the muscles and the bones strong, it also helps with flexibility, it helps with mobility, it helps with balance, it also helps us to manage stress and anxiety, it even helps with sleep and brain fog. So many benefits for yoga if you're postmenopausal or menopausal. And everybody can do yoga. Yes, it's for everybody, no matter how old you are, no matter if you think you're not flexible. Seriously, you can do yoga. Give yoga a try. And actually, I'm having a free yoga for menopause class coming up on May 31st, the end of the month, on Saturday. I will put the link below. Please, I'm inviting you all to join it. It's for beginners. We're going to talk about how yoga is really awesome for menopause, and we're going to do yoga, and I'm going to share some breathing practices and some restorative poses to help with sleep. So that was the third lifestyle habit. The fourth one is to eat your estrogen. Eat your estrogen. So we know we're losing estrogen once we're postmenopausal. And I don't just mean eat your estrogen, meaning from plants. I also just mean eating for our nutrition and not to be skinny. We're not looking to be skinny, ladies. We are looking to be healthy, strong, and flexible. So, but I do think that eating more plant-based sources of estrogen will help, especially if you're like me and you're not on HRT, don't want to do our HRT, can't do HRT. So we want to be looking at all the natural ways that we can help our bodies to produce more estrogen. And there are certain plants like lentils, nuts and seeds, soy products. There are lots of products, chickpeas, that are good sources of plant-based estrogen or phytoestrogens, which are similar to the body's estrogen. So I really encourage you to look at your diet, look at how you're eating, start to think about how you can cut out some of the the inflammatory foods that you've been eating or that you like and replace them with anti-inflammatory foods. I also have a video on this. So let me know if you want me to go into this more, but really looking at how you're eating and just starting with something really simple and easy will make a huge difference to how you go through your postmenopausal years. It doesn't have to be complicated. I really believe in small steps leading to big results. So that's lifestyle habit number 4. Lifestyle habit number 5 is avoiding those triggers for hot flashes. So again, if you're like me and having hot flashes still, 8 years into menopause, yeah, I'm still having the occasional hot flash, not many, but I am still having hot flashes. It would be helpful to identify what your triggers are if you can, and simply avoid those things. So for me, unfortunately, red wine is a trigger for me, and I do love red wine. I do drink red wine from time to time, and not all the time anymore, but it's definitely a trigger for my hot flashes. And I just try to avoid drinking red wine and anything else that I identify as my that triggers my hot flashes. So for me, I can't really figure out what else triggers them. They seem so totally random, except that I definitely know that red wine triggers them. And then that leads me to the next lifestyle habit, which is really, if you like your wine or your rum and coke, it definitely helps to be cutting down or cutting back on alcohol at this stage of our life. Now, I used to love to drink, full disclosure, I used to love to drink. I love wine, I love beer, I like going out with my friends and having a few drinks. I grew up in, many years in the US. I went to a big drinking school. I went to Dartmouth where, it was all about, work hard, play hard. I learned to drink at a very young age. I was 17. And so from 17 till basically not so long ago, alcohol played a big role in my life. Yep, full disclosure, alcohol played a big role in my life. And I have been trying for many years to cut back on how much I drink. It just becomes such an important part of your social life. But postmenopausal alcohol is I don't want to say a no-no, because you can obviously still drink, a little bit, but it's not great for us ladies, let's be honest. Messes up sleep for sure, messes up sleep, generally not good for our bodies. And I don't know, there's debate about whether red wine is good for you or not. But if you can cut down on your alcohol or even cut it out completely, I think you'd be doing your body a favor. So I'm trying to not necessarily 100% cutting it, stopping drinking, but I definitely am trying to cut it down, drink less. And I'm doing pretty well, actually. I drink very occasionally now, not much anymore. But that is definitely a lifestyle habit that I would say is going to help you postmenopausal, especially if you're not on HRT. So think about those, think about that one, ladies, and let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree, disagree. Let me know if you have comments on any of these lifestyle changes or habits that I'm suggesting. So the next one, sorry, got to check my notes here. The brain fog, the memory. The next one is it really helps to have some sort of morning routine. Yep, morning routine. We talk a lot about morning routines and evening routines, but it definitely helps to have some sort of morning routine to start your day in a positive way. So my morning routine consists of gotta have my coffee first thing in the morning. Sorry, I just gotta have my coffee. I'm a complete addict. Full disclosure again, I love my coffee. Gotta start my day with my coffee. But then I do some meditation. I also teach a 20-minute, 8 o'clock yoga and movement class every morning on Zoom. So I got to be up and teach my class, but it makes me do my own movement. It makes me do my own movement at 8 o'clock. And trust me, if I didn't have to get up every day and teach it, I would not be doing that. So it keeps me accountable. My members keep me accountable, make me show up to do my membership. And if you're interested in joining us, please let me know. Please, you can message me, email me, or I'll leave a link to more about my membership in the notes. But so I do some movement and then I do some journaling after my class. So that's coffee, meditation, movement, and journaling, and that takes me about an hour all told. And I know many of you are like, an hour? I don't have an hour to do all that. But whatever you can do for yourself, a little quiet time in the morning, deep breathing, and a little bit of movement, even if it's 5 minutes, will help you to start your day in a positive way, will get you going. And yeah, as I said, you're welcome to join us for our 20-minute morning movement class. So related to that is, again, having some kind of nighttime routine. Yep, having a nighttime routine also is really helpful because we know sleep becomes an issue as you get postmenopausal. Maybe you have issues falling asleep or waking up in the night or just not getting good sleep. So it really helps to have some kind of wind down routine where you're preparing your body for sleep. And mine basically looks like stopping eating and drinking 2 to 3 hours before I go to bed, because I hate having to get up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom. It's super annoying. So I really try not to have to get up and pee in the middle of the night. So stopping eating and drinking 2 to 3 hours before I go to bed. I do a meditation again before I go to sleep. And then I read. I try and read a real book or my Kindle. Try to not be on my phone before I go to sleep, because I think it definitely does, keep the brain going and you can't sleep. But whatever your nighttime routine is, you can do some gentle stretches in the bed. I've shared in another video some gentle yoga stretches that you can do right before you go to sleep. But creating some sort of nighttime routine for yourself definitely helps sleep. So I think that was habit number 9. And then the last one is just to have a positive outlook. Yeah, positive outlook. So for me, that looks like being very self-aware of my thoughts, being very vigilant about my self-talk, trying to keep it positive, trying to not go any rabbit holes of negativity, and just having affirmations to keep me positive, and just trying to maintain a positive outlook on life. As we get older, it's very easy for us to start getting really fearful about getting ill, about getting older, and I think we really have to struggle, or many of us, myself included, have to struggle with staying positive and staying optimistic with about our life. So a bonus tip, which I'm also trying to do, is to prioritize joy, prioritize fun, prioritize doing things that you love, prioritize getting together with your friends. Community. That's actually another lifestyle habit that I wanted to mention. Have a support system. Have a group of people, a group of women your age or who get what you're going through that you can talk to. So that is also a benefit of my membership, that we get together as women. We talk about what's going on in Bloom. And it really is important to have a community of women to support you, to help you to keep your life positive, full of joy and happiness. So I think that was actually 11 lifestyle habits that were game changers for me. And I really encourage you to try 1 or 2 of them. Let me know if any of them resonated with you. Let me know if you do these things already. Let me know if you disagree or want to suggest others or want me to go into anything in more detail. So again, I'm inviting you to my free Yoga for Menopause masterclass, and it's not just for women in menopause. If you're just having perimenopause symptoms, we're going to be talking about that too. So I hope you found this useful. I really would love to hear from you. So please leave your questions, comments, and I will see you again soon. Hey, if you found this video useful, it would really help me if you would subscribe to my channel. I'm really trying to build up my channel so I can continue to share my experience, my knowledge with you. So please hit the subscribe button and the bell so you'll be notified when I produce a new video. Really would appreciate it. Thanks a lot.